Hi, everybody. For my Stackathon project, I built a strategy game that is supposed to cultivate some of the intuitions behind a machine learning algorithm called support vector machines. And so the objective of the game is you get some data, and you're trying to sort out or separate some of the data from itself. And so the main dynamic of the game is you get to choose what features or what properties of the data you actually get to put on the graph. And so sometimes you're going to get some curveballs. Sometimes you're going to have a lot of data to work with. In this case, this level involves just one-dimensional data. So each level also has like a prompt, like a little story to it. This one is about two rival factions. And you're supposed to create an algorithm that finds the moderates in the faction so they can like work out like a peace treaty. And so here, the light blue data points are the ones you're trying to separate out of this. So what you can also do is you can take data and modify it with a function in some way. So sometimes things make more sense when you see it in a logarithmic scale or some kind of exponential scale. So in this case, I'm going to leave it alone. The default value is just to have the function, the data mapped to itself. But then I'm going to add something to the y-axis. And since it's one-dimensional data, I'm going to add that, and you see the behavior that is expected there. But then I'm going to modify, and I'm going to, you have a list of functions that you can use here. In this case, I'm going to use the sat parabola. And you're starting to see something emerge. One-dimensional data is now in 2 dimensions. And so based on that idea, I can do it one more time with a function that takes both the x and the y and bumps it up to 3 dimensions. So for the demo, I just have one for each to keep it simple, but there's going to be a lot in the real game dynamic. So I'm going to create a tunnel along the y-axis. And then, let's see, I'm going to drag this thing. There we go. So if you view it in the correct angle, you'll see that now the brighter data points are linearly separable from the rest, and that's what you want to achieve. So then on the z-axis, the height of it, you can move this little thing to set sort of the threshold, and then when you're ready, you classify, and that's how you beat the level. And this isn't working quite well yet, but the color changes on this thing. And at the end of the game, you actually learn that what you're doing here, taking some data and moving it to another dimension so that it's able to be separated by some kind of line, has some nice mathematical properties. But the really great thing is that you can actually treat data as if it was of higher dimensions, but never actually go into those dimensions, because doing so requires a lot of computation, and that is inefficient. So that's the big reveal of the game, and hopefully help some people dive into machine learning. Thank you.